people ask me what I do for a living, and I tell them where I work as a police officer on the London Underground, they usually look surprised. And when I assure them that there is a police presence on the Underground, they immediately assume that it must be part of the Metropolitan Police. And of course I then tell them that it isn't, because it's part of the British Transport Police. And L Division of British Transport Police is responsible for the entire Underground network. Our nickname is the Moles, for obvious reasons. We've got about 350 officers who cover the entire Underground network, which isn't very many when you consider the amount of crime that is occurring. And you also bear in mind that there are some billion passengers almost passing through the system every year. London Underground is becoming a real battleground for crime. In actual fact, we deal with murder, rape, robbery, sexual offences of all different kinds, perversions, drug pushing, thefts from the person. In fact, we deal with it the whole bloody lot.
Right side of the year, about there.
Another thing we have to deal with is suicide, people jumping in front of trains. We call them one-unders, and we get called to about 2 of those a week. And it means that the officers have to actually get underneath the trains to check whether or not the person is dead or the extent of their injuries. Now, of course, it's pretty mucky under there, and as we say, it's a dirty business, but somebody's got to do it. But the problem is that it takes up valuable manpower. It means that whilst those officers are engaged in dealing with that suicide, they're not dealing with the crime that's occurring elsewhere on the system.
Why is there such a problem of crime on the Underground?
Well, you can see the sort of environment that we're in here at Pax Coach. You've got this type of situation on the trains. You've got hundreds and hundreds of subways throughout the system. It's a haven for villains to operate in. In actual fact, there could even be a pickpocket in this carriage operating right now. I hope there is, because he'll be on film with any luck.
Can you stay here and play some?
Because of the size of the squad, it's quite obvious that we're not at every single station at any one time in the day. We have to move about the system all the time. It's a matter of getting on and off the trains, passing through the subways, along the platforms, basically trawling the system, looking for thieves.
Right, mate, I'm not moving. I'm not moving, mate. Right, mate, I'm not moving. I'm not moving, mate. I'm not going to go nowhere. All right, up the stairs. I'm a police officer. Right, Detective Sergeant Chard with Pickpocket Squad. That man's trying to steal your purse, all right? Can I have your details, my dear? Because I want to take a statement from you. But not now, because you're going to kick up any minute now.
No, I saw him pushing behind her, actually.
Did you?
Yeah.
Are you together?
Yeah, we are, yeah.
Sometimes they come quietly, but often they fight back, and it's amazing how seldom people come to help. They prefer to hide their heads in newspapers. Perhaps they actually think that we've got radios that work down there. You know, to police the biggest subway system in the world with only 350 men is difficult enough, but what with shifts, sickness and injuries, we can have as few as 50 men on duty, sometimes less. Now, New York, which has a smaller subway, has somewhere in the region of 4,000 men.
Just to let you know what we're doing tonight. We'll be going out on Lima 59, with the exception PC Parking and PC Millwall. If you can go to TCR, Chris and Nick, have a look at the usual problems we've got there. And then give us a call up at Close the Traffic, and we're coming up to lift you. We've got Chelsea coming into Euston. They've been playing at Birmingham tonight. There's an additional problem at East Acton tonight that we've got to be aware of. A group of youths came through there last night and used the ticket collector, demanded money with menaces from him, and told him that they'd be back tonight to cause problems. The Heathrow officers will be looking at that, but it may be necessary for us to go up there and assist them if we're uncommitted. Okay, gents, thank you very much.
Who's nicked my pen?
We've got these search forms. Keith, have we got these search forms on the vehicle?
What?
Premises search forms.
Are they in here?
You've got plenty, have you? All right, lovely. Sit up.
Right. What have we got so far? Right.
Hey.
Oi.
Oh.
What's the... Shut it.
All right.
Have you heard of conspiracy to pervert the course of justice? All right.
All right.
Right, you're nicked, pal. Now keep it quiet. Keep it quiet, all right? Keep it quiet. Now look, we've got two ways we can do this, all right?
If people who know fixed vote haven't got a permanent arrest, you can arrest them time and time and time again. But it just doesn't seem to do any good. Basically, if they've got no money, what's the point in finding them? It's very, very difficult. It's more of a social problem. Underground stations are ripe for begging, and some of the begging borders more or less on robbery. At least a lot of people feel very intimidated and feel like they have to give money. Don't they, Dave?
That's right, yeah.
Right, you've been arrested. Possession?
Drugs is a big problem on the underground. It's getting more prevalent all the time. Tottenham Court Road is one of the main areas that it's going on at the moment, and it just needs to be cracked down to be stopped, because the passengers using the underground are being approached and asked if they want any of these amphetamines.
So are you carrying out a lot of surveillance?
We have been over the last sort of fortnight or so, and it'll be going on till hopefully we get it under control.
Right, lads, as there's 8 of us tonight, we'll split into 2 teams. Frank, if you'll take a team out, please, that's Gary, Vince and Neil. And I'll take the remainder, Rod, Alex and Andy. Gary, if you'd like to take the central line to start with, Mile End, back down TCR, we'll take the Victoria line, intermingle with the Piccadilly line, and you come out and join us on the Piccadilly line. How much has been stolen, do we know?
No idea how much has been stolen at the moment, but that was within the last 10 minutes.
All right, best thing to do is upstairs, circle line to Embankment, and pick up the Northern Line from there. Right, is everybody here? Right, let's go. Charing Cross. Which one do we want? We want the Embankment, don't we? Yeah. If they gone northbound, what's that? Euston and King's Cross, isn't it? Camden Town and stuff.
In any one evening, we can get called to anything from the fire at King's Cross through to the sort of bread and butter offences of drunks, ticket disputes. But a vast majority of our work is assaults and serious assaults on the underground, ranging from black eyes through to serious stabbings. And that can happen anywhere within the 350 or so stations on the underground. No, keep going.
What's he wearing?
See what happens.
He's
He's changed. I think he's wearing glasses. I can't see from where I was
Has he
standing.
got that
He's reading a
same coat
book.
on?
No, he's wearing dark clothing. I don't think he has got a coat on. But I've deliberately not gone too close. So when the next train comes in on that platform, we'll get on it. It's chatting to him, isn't it? definitely. You've got to be central, hasn't it? Because we just come up northern, haven't we?
What we've got now is a report of a fight on the northbound Victoria line at Oxford Circus. And this is going to be the sort of thing we're going to pick up, I would think, for the rest of the evening. So we'll attend again on the hurry up to Oxford Circus. We should be there in the next 60 seconds, 2 minutes. We'll go down straight away, see what we've got. PC Griffin, who was going to meet us at Oxford Circus, is there now on his own. So it makes it more important for us to attend there as quickly as possible. Because the policy on late turn is that a PC will not work on his own out on the patch because it's just far too dangerous. As I said, 30 seconds. Excuse me, please. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. Yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me. Out of the way, please. Thank you. You're right. Which one? Which one? Come and point him out. What's he done? What's he done? Excuse me, Gov. Come on. Come here, Gov. Can you come off? Can you come off? Get in there. Up against the wall. Up against the wall. All right. All right. Just what I want to do is find out what's occurred. You've been pointed out as being involved. I'll find out what's happened.
I was walking on.
Listen to me. Once I find out what's happened, I'll know whether you're involved or not.
The man is being intoxicated.
Hold that train. I don't want it to go anywhere until I know what's occurring, all right?
The man has been intoxicated.
Hold it.
I'll try again. I'm not going to repeat myself anymore.
All right, you're going to wait.
The man is intoxicated.
You're going to wait. All right, I'm telling you, you're going to wait. All right?
The man is being intoxicated with alcohol. I walked to the...
Excuse me, can you all come away, please? Thank you. Give those officers some room. I just want you to repeat that. Hold on a second.
Come down here and grabbed him. There's another lad with him. The other blokes were involved in the fight who apparently started it on the train. That's what I told him on the train. He shut the door. Yeah, we put him for the song. He's put him in the plane.
Get him upstairs in the van. It's down the street.
Right.
Let's get on the street.
Go, take him out to the van. We saw the other day.
Okay, keep on it. All I'm trying to do is within the train. Yeah. All we're trying to do is just wait for the train. The geezer was a bit pissed. He was a little bit like, out of order. But I mean, all he wanted to do was get on the train.
All right, Paul, keep this man over by the side there. We'll keep him as a witness, all right? You just hang on. Thank you very much. Yeah, all right, lovely. If you're a witness, Governor, if you're a witness, go over to that officer there. Paul! Out of the way, Governor.
He's wearing a black blazer and dark shirt. I haven't got close enough to be able to see the full description of him. It's always been a heavy crowd. The trains are up the spout tonight and there's crowds everywhere. All right. Thank you very much. If you can make a message pad of that one, because we're getting allegations from it. Thanks ever so much. Bye. Right. Same description as Rastafarian with a mark here. Westbound at Sloane Square about a quarter of an hour ago.
Who's doing the escalator?
Mick, you all right? You all right?
Yeah, fine.
I walked onto the platform, and I got mixed up. Yes. Do you know what I mean? Yes, all right. Okay, man, now listen. The allegation that was made to me, and you heard it, yes, he saw you punching that man? Yes. Yes? Right, so you know what I've arrested you for, don't you? I've arrested you on a suspicion of assaulting that man. Yes. I'll caution you again, just so that you know that for certain. You don't have to say anything unless you want to, but what you say may be given in evidence, all right? Yeah. Okay, lovely. Now, what I want you to do is stay nice and calm, all right? And we'll take you away from here as soon as possible. Lovely.
Get him over there.
Now listen, very carefully, right? I say this only once, right? We've been following you for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, I can see. I saw the gentleman.
Do you want me to explain to you or not? Do you want to explain to me or not? We've been following you for the last 20 minutes, right? You have travelled between the Circus and Holborn, back again to Piccadilly Circus. Back again to Piccadilly Circus, from Piccadilly Circus to Leicester Square, you got off the train, you got changed over, you then come back on another train to Covent Garden, you've gone to Holborn, you then come back here on this side, crossed over there, and you tell us you're lost.
Honestly, I didn't know my way. As simple as
But when I asked you where you were going, you pointed straight away to there, didn't you?
I was going
Because you knew exactly where Topical Road was,
I didn't know whether it's from Holborn or
now,
from here.
when we see those sort of things, those observations, we are entitled to stop. I've told you who I am, I've given you my telephone number.
As is normal at this time of night, what we get is utter chaos when we turn up there, because the public, for whatever reasons they want to, will mill around an incident like that. And so it's very, very difficult to find out what's going on. He was extremely violent. I think you must have seen that, extremely violent. And he needed 5 officers to subdue him. That's one big drunk man. And I think that's 90% of what's occurred there is booze. It's got to be the hardest place to work. You're within 10 foot of a live rail that will kill you. You've got trains running through the underground, and you've got systems of tunnels that are like warrens. If somebody wants to commit an offence, it's the easiest place in the world to commit an offence and disappear.
Well, we got off at Gloucester Road. Yeah. And I didn't know where to get back on. And then he went on to the other, then he went on to the far train.
When the rain washes you clean, you know. That's what you will know. Here you go again, you say you want to clean.
That's the sort of things that are used by various criminals on the underground system. You can see all sorts of weaponry there. Probably the largest knife in amongst this lot. The size of that. You've got rice flails here, look. Cookeries, guns, varying descriptions. All used in the commission of crime. Confiscated from various villains. Nice looking knife there. Where is it? This one here. Used on CRD officers one New Year's Eve. It's quite a nice New Year's present, isn't it? And you can see a few koshes and that sort of thing in amongst this lot as well. That's the type of thing that we're confiscating off of various villains on the underground system. And we come out here to the depot because it's ideal. You see, we can experiment within an open carriage and establish the best means of dealing with the criminal.
Okay, John! Go, you bastard! John! John! Get out! Get up, for me! You bastard, John! Get up! Get up! Yeah! Goody! Goody!
Well, you know, it's held in a lot of circles, sort of the BTP or the transport police are there purely and simply just to arrest people for fraudulent travelling on railways. That really is a myth, quite honestly. Like myself and my colleague here, I mean, we're both covert officers and have been such for 18 months, 2 years now. We've coverted into a particular set of London football supporters. Most of our activities was on the underground. And in that time we saw how the thugs used the underground as a means of thuggery, for meeting opposing supporters, for going mass shoplifting, and we have experienced that.
It's an ideal place to perform an ambush, and certainly a good place to plan an ambush. So they were planning that 5 or 6 weeks ago. But really, I mean, it could go anywhere, couldn't it, really, quite honestly? I mean, it's opening today, don't you think? What, Seven Sisters and White Hart Lane? As an example to how football hooligans do use the underground system is the St Pancras Affray.
QPR supporters would have been very much aware on that day that Luton would have had to go back by underground to King's Cross, St Pancras, to catch their trains back to Luton and Bedfordshire area.
There was a serious disturbance on one of the platforms. Queen's Park Rangers faction attacked the Luton Town supporters. At least one person was stabbed. It could have been more serious. I mean, it could easily have been a murder.
And I think that is it. On that day, that is an exceptionally good example of how the thugs do use the underground system.
What about boozers? Yeah. What's that, the one near the neck? What, they want to humiliate Tottenham?
We infiltrated them to such an extent they invited us to go on holiday with them, parties with them. We got in that far with them.
No.
One of the better known hooligans of the particular set of supporters that we infiltrated now is sort of a reformed character, for want of a better word. He has, for our purposes, become a good source of information for us, and he assists us, you know, in all sorts of varying ways, certainly with football hooliganism.
How are you, all right? Everything all right?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Did you get anything last week?
Yeah, I got it for you, Lovely. Most of what you want to know, I got it for you.
What's the word? Is it going to be a bit naughty?
It's going to be very naughty, well tooled up.
Yeah, like what?
Even heard the rumour there's a shooter going about.
Really?
Yeah, it's going off everywhere. Old Kent Road area.
So what are we talking about? Back streets of Bermondsey, down the Old Kent Road?
Back streets of Bermondsey, West Ham, down the Old Kent Road. If there's too many old bill about, they're going to wait till after the game.
Is that what's planned then?
Yeah.
What about London Bridge?
London Bridge, too many gaffers about.
Got too many old bill?
Too many old bill.
Anywhere else likely?
West Ham's coming down early in the morning, very early.
All right, what do you want to do? Go and have a beer or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, go on, let's go and have a light, Al.
That'll...
Yeah, so you reckon the tube's going to be busy? Northern Line in general is going to be busy tomorrow on the tube, isn't it?
What, and then up at Elephant Castle?
Yeah.
What about the Whitechapel, the changeover for the...
No, because Whitechapel line goes straight through New Cross Gate, and the police are going to know, watch Whitechapel.
Oh, yeah, yeah, so it's got to be the Northern Line?
Northern Line.
So you think that's favourite for the tube?
Yeah.
The thing is, what's concerning us about tomorrow, the situation with the Millwall-West Ham game, there's going to be a lot of rivalry, and you know there's going to be a lot of bitter feelings between the two sides.
Pure hatred, innit? I mean, yeah, you're killing, innit?
What, murder at New Cross?
New Cross tube station, innit? What is it, 10 years ago?
Yeah, yeah.
Got chucked off and train cut him in half or something.
And then more recently, you've got the...
you got the one at the Embankment.
That's right, a double murder at Embankment.
That was 1-1. That's 1 killing each. So now they've got to prove, right, who's going to go 2-1 up.
And that's what they're getting ready for?
Yeah. Common sense should tell you the most potential place for killing is going to be a tube station. You've had two, one at New Cross, one at Embankment tube station.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a mugs game.
It's amazing the fallacy that exists about football violence and football hooliganism is nothing but the mindless thug that the media likes to represent it.
You know the school teacher who used to go with us?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know well, there was a bloke actually studying medicine.
Solicitors?
When we was involved with it, it absolutely opened our eyes.
To be a football hooligan, you're a rebel, you're against the establishment, you're against people who are telling you you're an animal, you're degrading Britain, you're dragging our name through the gutter. This has got to stop. Maggie's sitting on her high horse saying, right, I'm not having this. Well, if you can do it, you're sticking up 2 fingers to her, you're sticking up 2 fingers to the establishment, you're sticking up 2 fingers to the press. The first aim is still the opposing supporters, but if the police get in the way, if you can get a double result, it's doing the police and the opposing supporters.
Transport, please, prisoner escort. be picked up at Victoria and Station Inspector's office at the top of the main escalators which come up from the big line. One in custody for attempt theft. Many thanks.
Is this all going to be used as evidence?
Yep.
What he's doing now?
Yep. All good stuff. You on bail for anything else? You got any dipping convictions? Nothing at all?
No comment.
You have to stay in
Can you get that on film?
I'll tell you what we'll do now. You're obviously on your way home, right? Going to a meeting. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a tinkle tomorrow. 1 till 9 tomorrow. Probably sometime in the afternoon. You want to go and sit down or something?
No, I'll be
you're
all
right.
Yeah.
We've got a police office upstairs. You want to sit down and have a cup of tea or something?
Get to my meeting.
What? You're telling me you've got no previous convictions, mate? I find that very, very hard to believe. So we'll have to stay in custody.
Why do you find that hard to believe?
Custody overnight until your fingerprints come back.
Why do you find it hard to believe?
Because you're a thief.
Because you people go around pitching on black people, so you got all black people nicked, have you?
No.
So you know that everywhere all black people got previous then?
Boring. Boring, that is.
It is, isn't it?
That's right. Half the people we nick are white.
So why do you find it so hard to believe you haven't got any previous?
Because you're so bloody useless as a pickpocket. You must have been nicked before.
I don't know what you're on about.
I don't know what you're on about.
No respect.
Huh?
No.
Do you think that bothers us?
Eh?
Do you think that bothers us?
I'm sure it doesn't.
You're absolutely right.
Right, gents, why are you all here this morning? Basically, Robert was arrested at the weekend. When he was arrested, he had a diary on him. And contained in that diary were a number of robberies and other incidents that he had performed not only on our ground, but also on the Met Police's ground as well. And bless him, he'd also written down the names of his accomplices as well. So what we're here for this morning, basically, is to round up all his accomplices on those robberies. Certainly some of them have got previous for such delightful offences as robbery, GBH, assault on police officers as well. Neighbourhood watch, that's encouraging, isn't it? Let's hope we got the right ones.
Oh, Mrs. Boris. Is it Boris?
When he was here last night.
He was here last night?
He's been here all night long.
Hi, Di. How are you? A bit cold this morning.
Freezing.
Yeah. How do you feel? All right.
Very nervous.
No,
Very
you're not.
nervous.
No, you're not.
I'm not
Go
looking
down.
forward to this.
Same as before. If you see the chap, point him out to us.
Blonde curly hair.
Michael Caine look-alike.
Probably doesn't look anything like Michael Caine, but... I was sitting on the train in the first carriage, and I heard someone running along the platform, and I glanced up as this man jumped on the carriage, and I turned around and he had his willy in his hand. And I just thought, oh my God, I've got a pervert here. And then he sort of started saying all these disgusting things, and I just thought, well, I couldn't really hear, but I was catching odd words now and again. He was here all night long last
Get yourself for us now.
Hey man, come out, what are you doing, stuff?
You come with us. We're going to search your bedroom, right? So put your gear on. Put your gear on now.
The train had no sort of sooner started moving when he turned around and dropped his trousers and his pants right down to the floor and started masturbating. And he must have been about 1.5 foot away from me. And I've never been so scared in my life. I really thought I was going to be raped. I looked for the emergency button, and I didn't realise there was one above my head, but the only one I could see was along the way. And I thought, well, if I actually get up to do that, I'm within an arm's distance, and he might then attack me. So I just pretended to ignore him. when I'm at work, walking up the road, I'm constantly looking at people on the train. Not only that, but I keep looking at men thinking, are you a pervert? You know, sort of just generalising, and I know I shouldn't be, but you just can't help it, you know, and I don't know. I've been dreaming about it all the time, and worrying. More, I've never had to point a finger at anybody before.
You want to point the finger at this time?
I do, but I want to get him caught because I want all this over and done with. But then, to actually stand here and say to the police, that's him, I mean, I will do it, but it's not going to be very pleasant. I know I'll cry.
He's on curfew at the moment, and I have a number to notify if he's nicked at all, yes.
Right.
If you want that number, I can give it to you. If not, I can phone it myself.
I'll take it. Nothing.
I believe for a start there will be numerous pockets of Millwall fans travelling from all parts of South London and Kent, and there'll be several meeting places for them. Hopefully we can monitor a few. They will have to go on the underground system at some stage, and hopefully we'll be able to pick them up today. We've just seen a few little mobs walking down the road, and in 3s and 4s, and we're going to have a look where they're going.
Little firm on the corner here. Little firm of some blokes blowing up there, dozen or two.
Yeah, that's their firm, isn't it?
You see him clock his van?
Yeah.
He'll be very much aware of blokes in vans like this today. Probably pick them up, probably coming on the district line, I think. Up in central London, possibly the Monument and the Bank.
You need to be as honest as you can. You use the underground system very often.
Very often.
One of the incidents, which is part of this investigation, took place at South Kensington Tube Station. Do you know anything about that at all?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes.
It's important that you tell us if you do.
Yes.
I want you to think very carefully about an incident at South Kensington Tube Station when an item of jewellery was stolen and a wallet. I think you're telling lies. I want to know the truth. You see where it says distressing?
Yeah.
What's distressing mean?
I've heard the phrase distress. To need help.
Are you being serious now? Are you being serious with me?
Yes, I'm being serious.
It really means robbing, doesn't it?
I don't know.
You don't know that one. Well, there's the thing.
So you can't just allow 400 to 500 football supporters, whether they're thugs or not, you can't allow them just to roam the transport system unpoliced. Yeah, BX, we have movement of West Ham fans in the Barking Road. Approximate numbers 250. Any update, BX, will keep you informed.
I think we've got movement. There's a little firm on the opposite side of the road also.
The nearest underground station to this must be Plaster.
That's right, yeah, they're still coming out of the pub.
Predictable, they're not going to the closest station. I suppose they think they're giving the police the run around, they're changing and then changing again. I think they're giving the police the run around. Lima Echo 2 from Metro 750.
Go ahead.
Yeah, what is the destination of the West Ham supporters, over?
Yeah, now I believe they're going to go district line to Whitechapel. That's the overheard, over.
Yeah, could I have that confirmed they are going to Whitechapel?
No, I can't confirm that. The train is going to Whitechapel. I didn't speak to the fans, over.
Yeah, received. Wanker. BX from Metro 750. Yeah, BX, for your information, we're at New Cross Gate. The West Ham fans, large amounts, have no Met police escort. Repeat, no MP escort.
Apparently there are units outside the station, over.
Now, this is very unusual for them not to be escorted.
Absolutely.
I don't know what's happened here, but there's been a cock-up on behalf of the...
Mind you, there's a carrier.
Yeah, quite. It's not very heavy, is it?
It goes off, they ain't got a chance. It starts in the middle of the road, they ain't got a chance.
Yeah, I received that, BX. We are on scene. There's no police escort whatsoever, apart from one unit.
Yeah, I say again, from Charlie Mike, they're saying this is a ploy by them, not to escort them, but the route itself is the police, over.
It's the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard in my life. It's a ploy by the police not to escort them. The route is policed. Well, I've heard it all now. Millwall are in the pub opposite. Watch the camera, watch the camera. That's Millwall all on the opposite side of the road. There's the pub there, with Millwall all inside. And this is all West Ham walking past.
They're going to have a crack or something, aren't they?
There
There they go.
Pub here.
We're getting round here.
What, stop it. I'm going to try and do the pub.
They're going to have a crack at the pub. That's where it'll go.
Look, they're going to do the pub now. Look, they're doing it. Come on, they're doing it now. Yeah, BX from Metro 750, urgent assistance just outside the Crown and Anchor. BX from Metro 750, can you inform MP units West Ham are still unescorted? There is disorder taking place.
The Old Kent Road.
Yeah, we're in the Old Kent Road. By the Crown and Anchor Public House. It's the next pub up, going in a northerly direction. It's been attacked by West Ham supporters. There's large-scale disturbance in the street. There are no MP units available. We are with the West Ham fans. There are people now into the street. There is serious disorder. There is serious disorder.
I'm going up and round, Damien. I want to get round opposite it. I want to get round opposite it.
That's affirmative. No. BX, sorry to cut in, it's not the Crown and Anchor, it's the next pub along from the Crown and Anchor. It's being at this moment attacked. There is large-scale disorder.
Here they come again, they're going again up Boozer.
Look, behind. Yeah, BX from Metro 750, for your information. It's now outside the Canterbury Arms, Old Kent Road, serious disorder. MP are on scene. Yeah, look, there's fronts here.
Yeah, they're having a go again.
Look. It's happening in front. Look.
Come on.
I tell you, that is what it's called, West Ham taking liberties at Millwall.
Absolute liberties with them. They're West
Basically,
Ham.
West Ham has come to Millwall. They come on Millwall's ground. They've smashed their pubs up. To them, it's a victory.
There's been a dramatic rise in violent crime on the London Underground.
Latest figures show that crime on the London Underground is still on the increase. Muggings are the fastest
New York's
growing.
Guardian Angels have arrived in London. They've come to start organising British Guardian Angel patrols.
The British Transport Police have warned the
British Transport Police say the Guardian Angels aren't welcome on the London Underground.
Lisa Sliwa, wife of the Guardian Angels founder Curtis Sliwa.
Lisa Sliwa, one of the Angels leaders, is convinced the time has come for citizens to take the initiative.
I still think that there is a concerted effort
effort to deny that there is a serious crime problem on the underground. They keep throwing statistics. Every time I'm down here, I keep hearing from more and more people who don't even bother to report the crimes. So the need is there. I think the critics, though, as they become more aware of what's actually happening in the tube, because a lot of those critics don't have to ride the system every single day, they're going to change their mind about the guardian angels. We'd love to cooperate with the officials if we could, but we're not going to wait around while they drive around in their cars with their drivers.
I would have thought that you've got enough problems in New York without coming across to London Underground, which is much less dangerous for passengers. I mean, why do you want to come over here and interfere in a sort of a nice way with our policing?
It's not a question of interfering. It's a question of people who live here, who use the tube every day, expressing an interest in having guardian angels on the system.
And by having a uniformed patrol as yourself, I can foresee, and it's only my opinion, that it's going to encourage, incite more problems, more policing problems.
Inspector, with so few officers for such a huge system, with no use of volunteers as a visual deterrent on the system, you're trying to say to me that you feel the guardian angels on the London Underground would provoke otherwise law-abiding citizens into attacking us? I mean, I find that outrageous.
No, if I was sat in the train going home and a paramilitary group as yourself patrolled my compartment, I would feel a threat.
A girl has been savagely raped by two men after an hour-long ride of terror on the London Underground. The victim is still in such deep shock that she's only just beginning to tell the police what happened. The attack took place last Sunday afternoon. It's another example of...
They kept her on the train for some 45, 50 minutes, right through central London, all the way out to Gants Hill.
I don't know what I'm saying. Have you ever had any incidents happen to you where people, guys have harassed you?
Yeah, when I used to live in Shepherd's Bush.
They took her off the train, up the escalators, and into the ladies' staff toilet, where she was raped by both men.
We're going back to New York to patrol where we belong. So if we can get a lot more of the youth involved that are running around on the tubes, robbing people and mugging them, then they'll be in a T-shirt and a beret, protecting the community instead of working against them.
I think that there's definitely the beginning of an explosion of crime here in the underground. Maybe not necessarily happening overnight, but you can see if you look back 5 years to the way that it is today, you would never heard of a case of a girl, a young woman being raped, held hostage for over 20 stations, being brutally raped by two men. That would have been absolutely unthinkable. And then the authorities would try and tell me, well, Lisa, the statistics are down. Hey, if you're that one woman who's been raped and been mugged and attacked, you don't care what the statistics are. What matters is what happened to you.
Yeah.
Is it kind of pushed?
I know maybe you can't do it. I know the artists can do many things. It was more of a bush, wasn't it? Yeah, it was more on his head.
You would think that if public safety was their #1 concern, that they would welcome all citizens to get involved, regardless of whether they were wearing red berets, pink shower caps, or blue tri-cornered hats. It wouldn't really matter to them. And I find it unfortunate they keep citing statistics, but I really believe that just from the feedback that we've gotten here on the trains the last couple of days, I really believe that there are a lot of people on the system who have been victims of crime and who simply have not bothered to report it, because you can see the next logical extension of their attitude is to blame the victim for causing the crime.
nicked me one New Year's Eve, didn't you? I didn't know it wasn't. No, was it New Year's Eve?
I know you're from somewhere.
You nicked me one New Year's Eve about 4 years ago.
Jesus Christ. No,
You don't change. You like this last time?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I didn't do anything.
I'm not.
I didn't do
I'm
anything.
not. Go. Sit down.
Fucking guilty, I know.
Yeah.
I'm always guilty, I know. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do, man? Like, keep getting nicked for it. You think I could be not guilty?
Think of all the ones you've got away with.
I've never got away with it. No, I'm a loser. You know I'm a loser.
I can't take the stitch-up business. I ain't taking it.
You're boring, mate. Just sit
That's
down and
been
shut up.
boring.
Well, I don't know why you're boring. You tell me why you're boring. I've told you why you've been.
Listen, I ain't taking it no more. Right?
Sit down.
So what are you stitching me up for? Eh?
You're not being stitched.
What are you stitching me up for? Who did I try to steal from then?
Calm down.
Who did I try to steal from? Eh?
Sit down.
Who did I try to steal from? Who? You said you want to work with me, right? You're not going to nick me, right? Now I've got in there, you said you're nicked. I can't have it. Right? I ain't having no more of it, Gary. Right? I've been using the scapegoat too much times. If you want to go out there, do your work properly. Don't start fucking and picking on innocent buds. Right? If you see me, right, nick me. But don't start using accusations about, yes, I'm not going to fucking nick you. I'm just going to bring in you out and work with you. When I reach in here, you're stitching me up. Don't do it. Don't do it, girl. I'm innocent, mate.
You finished? Feel better? You're still under arrest for attempted theft. I've already told you.
Oh,
My social security is something like £20 a week, you know what I mean? And that's not going to last me whatsoever. I try to economise and like it just can't go, you know what I mean?
Do you feel better by stitching someone up? A black, innocent, coloured person, eh? Do you feel guilty, gal? Or you feel fucking black bastard? How do you feel, gal? How do you feel?
A bit racist, isn't it?
Eh? How do you feel? Bastard. Black bastard. He's at it again. Whether or not he's at it, he's at it.
That's a racist attitude to take.
Of course it is. Of course it is. That's the truth.
Me, I'm a person, I ain't got no family around me, you know what I mean? I'm just by myself, you know what I mean? And like, dipping is like the easiest thing I've known from since I was a kid, you know what I mean? And it's like, it is messing up my life because I haven't got much out here.
I've got about 13 previous, right? For this, right? Let me tell you, I've got about 13 previous for this, right? Half of them, right? I've been bolted up on, right? And that's gospel, right?
So you got away with a lot more, isn't it?
What you get away with and what you get nicked for, that's it. That's law, isn't it? Do you understand? Now, you can't use what you got away with to stitch up a person, can you? Can you? Can you?
As a result of the increased crime levels that we've experienced, we have been given an extra 50 men to police the underground system. Now that's fine in itself, but it's not nearly enough manpower to cover the underground network. We really do need a very large input of manpower down there because the crime is still soaring.
How many would you say you need?
I would estimate that you would need something like a force of 1,000 officers to effectively police the underground system in London. If we don't have an awful lot more manpower down there, the villains on the underground are going to have a heyday.
There'll be a slight delay.
Secure your train, please. Is that down the road?
So if you organise as many uniforms as you can on the Piccadilly line.
The other thing is,
anything that's found, don't touch it.
And we'll get Scenes of Crimes to photograph it and do everything else in situ beforehand. Don't do anything about going on the track till that railway operating gentleman has told it.
Okay, Nigel!
The trains are running from Chancery Lane and from Tomcott Road. Chancery Lane, 10 minutes walk, just keep following High Holborn all the way down.
Now, in addition to that, as a result of the search of the station, an apparently blood-stained knife has been found in a litter bin. It possibly could be the weapon. We're not sure. The post-mortem is for 7 o'clock. The deceased is 17 years of age. He's over here on a holiday with his cousin. He's only been here for a few weeks. We've got a problem at the moment in relation to the deceased because is everybody aware of what the circumstances of the incident are?
It's an offence to smoke on the underground system.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
The deceased was trying to hold on.
You've got no details of your name and address, have you?
Well, I know where I live. He stabbed him by that sort of motion from behind.
There is the landlord.
We have a fixed address.
Will you tell him?
Give me your address again.
One way.
And that's about all I know at the moment. But has anybody got any sort of pressing problems that they want to bring up at the moment?
Yeah, my wife's having a baby either today or tomorrow, or the next day after that.
Were you all scrubbed off then, Graham? Right.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be scrubbed off, but as long as I can get away quick, you know.
Carry on with us this evening. Obviously, if anything, you know, keep in touch with anything urgent, then just go home. But don't come back in tomorrow.
A 17-year-old tourist has been stabbed to death this afternoon at Holborn Underground Station. The motive for the killing is
These
still
guardian angels that have been visiting over here, my personal view is that they are a good idea. Anything that acts as a deterrent for these type of offences, robbery offences or any offence, violence, is a good idea. What's happened today, which has ended up with someone being actually stabbed and murdered, it's got to be a good idea. I can't see how anyone would disagree with that. I think women travelling on the underground would be the ones that most benefit. There's no doubt about it that sometimes when I go into some of the areas that I have to do in the course of my work, I feel distinctly nervous, especially late at night. The northern reaches of the Bakerloo line, the further reaches of West London. If I think that a woman travelling on her own has got to feel worse than this because she's much more vulnerable and she's not getting paid to be there like I am. We come across it all the time where people are subjected to violent attacks, really astonishing violence, and other members of the public are just sitting back watching it, ignoring it, and refuse to help the person who's in trouble, which I think is absolutely a disgusting indictment on our society, that someone can actually sit there and watch someone become subject to a violent attack and just turn over another page of the Times and carry on as if nothing happened. I always think if it was one of my relatives travelling, I know how I'd feel, and I know how some of these people feel when they're performing what should be a normal, everyday function, which is travelling from A to B. And it's becoming like a nightmare, and a nightmare that will continue unless something's done about it.
We believe there's one other member of the public in there who's probably nothing to do with it. But the trouble is, by the time they come out, they'll probably all have nothing to do with it. So you reckon there's a lot of casualties done the damage, yeah?
Well, there was a bunch of geezers down there in the other lift, and as we was coming up, they was coming down, and they was kicking in everything and smashing things with a load of iron bars. And we was just stuck in the lift. We was doing nothing.